Hey everybody, Kraeuter here again. So I made this video, today's video, a couple of days ago, but what happened was I was watching Joe, my buddy Joe from Florida, Joe's shop on YouTube, and I realized that we both had the same concerns, so I'm reshooting the whole video. So bear with me if it seems a little choppy or whatever. I'm using some clips, but I think we can learn something from this video, and I hope you'll bear with me. So let's get to it. Today's project is a pair of Kraeuter. I think that's how it's pronounced. Kraeuter. That's the German pronunciation I could find. 1801-7 Linesman Pliers. I think these are 7-inch. That's where the 7 comes from. You can see these look like they were laying in some water. You know, this is I got at that rainy, that rainy tractor show, right? But these are Kraeuter Industrials, and they look like they're just going to be beautiful, right? Let's check it out. Here's our post wire brush cleanup, and as expected, this steel, the Kraeuter had some awesome steel. A lot of these Linesman Pliers are really made well. And you can see now this is again what some people call patina, down to the patina part of it, but you see a little bit of casting marks. We have a little damage on the jaw. You see the tip of the jaw there? A little bit of damage as somebody was putting this near a grinder or something and ground a little bit in. The serrations on the jaws are really good. The cutters are in excellent shape. Everything looks decent. I'm going to go sleep on this tonight and see what I'm going to do tomorrow, what I feel like, what the mood brings. But these are a beautiful pair of pliers, just the way they are. Well, I slept on it and decided since I got to repair them anyway, I might as well just go all the way and take it over the top the way I like to do it. Took it to the belt sander, then to the buffer, and got these nice and shiny. Now you know my favorite part. Do you remember what they look like before we started? And we're calling the project finished. Now, as you can see, we polished everything out. Everything looks real nice, right? Mirror polish. Everything's nice and smooth. We got rid of that grind mark on the tip. Everything just came out great. Love these pliers. They feel great in the hand, as you can see. Now, here's where we developed the problem. Why the reshoot. As I'm looking over these pliers, I'm looking and I notice, if you notice, there's a gap. You see that gap there when the pliers are closed? You know, obviously it's closes so that the jaws, the cutters will close before the tip. But see that gap there? Now I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, huh, that seems strange. That's the third pair of Linesman Pliers that I saw with that gap. In fact, I went through some of my other Linesman Pliers, you know, the ones that are about to be restored, and I noticed they all have a gap. See? A gap, 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 gap. I was like, what is up with this? Now, I grew up with, this was a pair that was given to me about 40 years ago. This was my great-grandfather's, and it's another Kraeuter, and you can see there you go, another Kraeuter. Again, this is an older one. Now, this is probably given to me because it was worn out. You know, the teeth are, you could see, but it still cuts. That's what's amazing. Even though the jaws don't touch, this will still cut. And it does it, you know, all the way up and down the jaws. This will cut. But the problem is that, you see how it touches on top. I guess when the jaws wear down, it allows it to close. So I grew up thinking and using this plier, thinking, wow, these are great pliers. And I used them for all kinds of things. Now, my second pair of pliers that we had upstairs in the kitchen drawer were these. These were a Power Master, made in Taiwan back, these got to be 30 years old. But these were always upstairs in the kitchen drawer, and these were the go-to pliers whenever you need something. Again, they close on top, and the jaws close at the same time. So my question was, you know, what's going on? I never even knew that Linesman Pliers had that gap. So I did some research and try and figured out why there was this gap, this inherent gap. It's almost 1/8 of an inch. Why is this gap here on Linesman Pliers? And from what I can find out, there was a couple different things. Some people were saying that This way it doesn't squish the wire, the copper wire, when you're trying to twist it. Some other people are saying that it maintains the jaws, that they don't get mangled from being squeezed down. I don't know. I said, I know these are electrician-specific pliers, but you're really killing a lot of your fan bases, so to speak, that regular people that would use these. I mean, you know, with that kind of gap in here, it limits you on what you can do. And I'll give an example. A lot of times I used to take my grandfather's pliers. If I wanted to make some shim stock or something, I could fold some metal in half and squish it down. Look, you can't do that with these, you know, because you got that big gap. I take his pliers and I can get this nice and flat. I can, you know, get this flat and bend it over again and make nice corners or whatever I have to do. Another thing is, with the gap in the pliers, if you want to grab a piece of wire like this, look at that, you can't grab it. It slips right off because of that gap. Same with a piece of, you know, anything you want to grab. I mean, this, for the average homeowner, this would be a nightmare to use. Whereas, you know, again, with pliers that touch, you could grab, you could do whatever you have to, you know, and pull out. And so that was a big thing for me. Now, I ordered another pair of pliers just like these from a company called Malco. And they're made just like these are. They touch at the top and they also touch at the jaws. So that's led me to this problem. One other feature I found when doing research on these Linesman pliers, you see how they have these sharp angles here, you know, here on each, it seems like on all four sides. I found out that they said that was in an emergency, that you could remount the inside of a pipe by pressing this into the pipe and turning it like this. You could remount the inside when you're doing electrical work. Obviously, with my OCD on tools, I would never do that, to scratch up my tools and everything, but apparently that's what these facets are made for. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So in closing, we're finished with the pliers. We're glad, happy with the way they came out. But as far as this gap goes in the tip, I would really like to know from you guys. I know I got a really bunch of great subscribers out there that really know their stuff, and especially some of the guys that work with these pliers for years, like Dave from American Coin Hunting and stuff. I mean, there are a lot of guys out there that use these and wear them out and stuff, and I just want to know, does that gap ever bother you, or have you always used it, or what the deal is? Because I know if you're new to these pliers, I would look into a pair like this, because I grew up with these, and I think it gives you a better, you know, a better range of uses than something. You tried to grab something small with that, you're SOL. All right, thanks very much. I appreciate your comments. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.